You know what's the greatest thief of all joy? Comparing yourself to someone else's journey or someone else's version of success. The reason why I start saying this is the great book that I'll be talking about, where she's successful in your eyes. If you have not heard who she is, I should highly recommend that you watch her interview with Ed Milet. In this book, she talked about some very important topic that for myself, I want to address. Because, it's scary, man. It's scary. So, okay, so as you climb this ladder to success, whatever that may be, and when you first starting out, you're supposed, when people who have gone the road ahead, they're supposed to uplift you, to pull you up, not pull you down. Even though you're trying to taste what success tastes like, you're tasting it for yourself and you don't know what it tastes like, and you're afraid that you're going to be judged by successful people because they have made it. But let's talk about this. So oftentimes people are going to ask, who do I look up to, I follow online? Well, they're all successful people in their own ways, but you might not think it is, but it is. Ty Lopez, who is he? Well, he become successful and famous for his, he used marketing, advertising. Here's my garage. It's knowledge, right? But he also are friends with successful people, CEOs and business. He interviewed people like Gary Vee. If you don't know who Gary Vee is, he's the CEO of VaynerMedia. He is successful, and everybody look up to Gary Vee for his building, helping his dad, working at a wine, right? And these people, Ty Lopez, he talked about books. Most people don't like books, and people bash him on books, right? And he see a clear way to success, and that's what I often see. And I follow people who has the success that I'm looking for. Like, for example, London Real from Brian Rose, I forgot who, the people who have gone the road ahead and they're leaving a trail of success for us to see. Now, when you first start starting out and you haven't figured out, and you're trying to uplift yourself when times are hard, when you're going against your self-doubt, when you take a hit, you feel like you're not succeeding. And success has its own version of it, whatever that success may be. And in Napoleon Hill, in his quote, he said, every difficulty brings with it the seed of an equivalent advantage. Everything that you have failed at, the pain that you went through, the thing that you were that you have disadvantage of, and people have advantage over you, that is your power. Because in that that should be a signal for stepping stone for success. Because most often time, when we feel like we fail, right? Gary Vee, CEO, he talked about in his video that he get punched in the mouth, and that he entrepreneurship, he talked about, is like you get punched in the mouth and you lose. Like there are times you win and there's times you lose. And oftentimes in this book, she talked about stop comparing myself. I stopped comparing myself to other people, and I stopped comparing myself to whoever I thought I was supposed to be. Comparison is the death of joy, and the only person you need to be better than you is you were yesterday. And my greatest fear I have is that when I am trying to figure out to becoming successful, and I want to pull up people to become their best, to do their best, to create video, and of course I haven't figured that out all yet. And the greatest fear I have is being judged by people who are successful more than me, right? because they have the knowledge and the skills and the experience more than I am. More, and I'm trying to become successful, right? Whatever success that may be. And by no means I'm perfect. Like, that's why I try to do the best I can. It's not always easy, right? Because for me, I have a lot of negative self-talk, and I beat myself a lot. And there are things that I wish I could have done, but I didn't. So I won't let the past define who I am. But the thing is, I'm afraid. My greatest fear I will ever have is that when you're trying to go to the road of success, that you're building a future for yourself, when you're building a brighter future for your family, the hopes and dreams are for you, that when you achieve a certain amount of success, but then you have setbacks, we all do, and that you will be judged for it. For me, I care about a lot of people's content. They might not think that I don't care. I mean, I care about Dr. Renee content and her work, and I care for her too. And I care for Lennon Honor and his work. I care for my mentors and friends' work. But at the end of the day, I still have to achieve my dream. I can't let the people who I admire opinions affect how I live my dreams. For those who are listening, who are trying to become successful, who haven't made a thing for yourself, don't be afraid to be judged by those who have gone before you. They're supposed to guide you, but they shouldn't let you talk out of your dream. That's not the thing that mentors or successful people should be doing. They're supposed to uplift you and guide you to the direction of your dreams. That is the true mentor should be like. They should not talk you out of whatever you're trying to do for yourself, for your family, whatever that is. And she talked about it. The audacity is pretty audacious to ignore what other people, even experts, are telling you are right. I think we could all use a little more audacity around these people, these parts. I don't mean that you need to be militant or disrespectful. I just mean you should keep your eyes on your goals regardless of what can get in your way. Now, if you ever watch, Gabrielle Bernstein, she was on Oprah Winfrey, right? And she felt like she was a failure. She was depressed because she wanted to have a baby, but she couldn't do it. So, and when you're in the public eye, when you're whatever you're a public figure or a CEO or entrepreneur, you're in the public eye and you're going to be judged for it, But the thing is, I want to pull people up because each people, their message is important, regardless if I agree or disagree with it, right? That these advice or these knowledge can be used in our life, can be harnessed, or whatever that is. When we fail, when we feel like a loser, that's when we get up. That's when we believe in ourselves more than anybody else. You should be your own biggest cheerleader, fan. Even when you get hit so hard that you felt like you let people down, whether they're successful already before you, whether they're they're in their own rights, but nobody has the right. I don't care if they're an expert, successful people shouldn't let you talk out of your dream. Yes, you should enjoy your life. You should enjoy your whatever that your life is. Your family matters. You matter, right? That is my greatest fear, because I know that I have authors, best-selling authors, entrepreneurs, people, martial art, are watching my content, and that is my biggest fear, because I have failures. I've beat myself most of the time, and those people are supposed to be my guiding force for good, my guiding force for success, not let me down, not push me down. I think that's what we all need. So in this book she talk about that she's vulnerable, that she's, sometimes she's not the greatest mother that she can be. I remember in this book she talked about that she get pissed at her husband or family. I think she yelled at her kids or something. And then at the end, and she felt like like most of us, we think that we should have figured out things out when we're 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. But think about this. Most of the world, the 20s, the 30s, the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, even the 90s haven't figured it all out. They haven't lived truly the authentic life that they wanted to be. And most of the time I see that the midlife crisis hit, right? You hear stories where a wife, for some reason, in her mid-50s or something, and she had a midlife crisis, and her kids are all grown up, and she was working for herself. I mean, not working for herself. She's working for her family, and she didn't have any. She didn't do her dream. And so what happened toward of the midlife crisis? She lose that identity, and she start wanting to do her dream or whatever that is. And something happened. Because I read a story or somewhere that she didn't want to either with her husband or anything. I don't know. I don't remember. And I remember I was in the barber shop. I got a $40 haircut for some reason. No, I usually leave my hair long because I don't feel like paying for it. Like, what's the point of like cutting it every time? That's my opinion anyway, because it's been like that for me. I just cut all the hair off and leave it to grow it long, and then cut it off. Now, in this book right here, she talked about something that I recommend that everybody who's trying to achieve their dream. Let me say again for those people in cheap seat. Someone else's opinion of me is none of my business. Someone else's opinion of you is none of your business. Those are so powerful. Anyone who tend to hold other people's opinion ahead of their own. They're never more profound when they're creating something. Maybe a book, a blog, a company, a piece of art, or a fashion sense. When you're creating something from your heart, you do it because not because you cannot do it. You do it because you cannot do it. You produce it because you believe your creation deserves to be out there in the world. You work. Then you close your eyes and cross your finger and hope it finds recognition. But here's the thing about mystical thing you're making. You create because you have God-given ability to do so. You create a gift to yourself and the highest power who bless you with those abilities. But you cannot make people like it or understand it. You have to be willing to put it out even though if they don't like it, even if they hate it, even if they give it 2 stars or none at all. You have to understand that every person on earth has an opinion, and their opinion, even if they're the most widely recognized expert on the subject, only has bearing on your work. If you let it, review cannot make me a bad writer. Can I write terribly? Heck yes. The first and second, third draft of everything I wrote is basically garbage. If I refuse to take constructive criticism from any editor I trust, if I don't push myself to grow as a writer, if I regurgitate same story over and over or worse, or if I try to impersonate someone else's style, then yes, there's a good chance my work is going to suck. But deciding that something's bad simply because other people don't like it or understand is not a theory that I can co-sign. Art and creativity is subjective, and dang it, it's hard to find the courage and drive to complete anything. So sister, if you're going to work that hard on that project, do you really want to allow it to be blown out apart by something as flimsy as an opinion? That's why I often do what I am afraid, because I know who is watching me. And it's not like I'm trying to be careful, or I'm not trying to be disrespectful to them. That's the thing that I'm not trying to do. What I'm trying to see, give them a new perspective of life, because it could help them, whether they're already successful, whether they're trying to become successful, it all can help them in return. And in return, all I ask is a support from them. When I feel like a failure, when I talk myself out of my dream, when I want to help the world to make a better place, all I want is their support. All I want is that they care, that I care for their work. And I'm never, like, the things that people don't get is I care for people's work. Even though people don't think that I don't care, I care for people's message, like Bonnie, right? I care for each one of the people, right? But how can successful people are there supposed to guide you and uplift you, but not talk you out of your dream? That is the most powerful thing that you could not let any from me either. The people, they don't know, the successful people, they don't know your dream, and they don't have to live with your, they don't have to, you have to deal with the consequences and to live with yourself. Trust me. That's very, for me, the reason why I said trust me, because I'm scared as fuck. Like, I'm scared. Like, people don't understand. I am scared as fuck because I know that when I post a video and people watch it, I just want to get them to understand that there are good ideas that could help them out. And by no means that we can become more successful. But how can I become successful if you don't let me become successful? Boom. Right? If you don't let other people become successful, how can they become successful in their own version? That's all I got. See ya.